Make a U-turn. In 1,000 feet, slide left, take the next left, sharp left, turn right on, continue on, in a quarter mile, at the light, in 600 feet, turn right on. You have reached your destination.
Alright, this old man and I, goofy bastard, there's Dick. Here are my brand new carburetors, or rebuilt carburetors. Obviously they've been shined up nicely. And these are SHIs?
So here's the deal with SU carburetors. So HS, the H stands for horizontal, as opposed to vertical or downgrade. These are side grade. So that's the H. The S means a side frontal, as opposed to HIF, in which would be an integral float, in which the float is built into the bottom of the carburetor bottom. Okay. And then 6, these are HS6. Ooh, baby. These are HS6. So the 6 is the number of eighths of an inch plus an inch at the diameter of the throttle disc. So these are 1 3/4 carburetors, as opposed to stock MGB carburetors, which would be 1.5 inches.
Did you like how I did that math there?
Pardon me?
Did you like how I did that math?
Yeah, you.
Seriously, bless you.
You always did have a very astute sense of the obvious.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these are all freshly done.
I just wanted to get on your recording.
Alright, so we have just dropped off that's the Rivergate transmission. That's the Nissan or Datsun 5-speed. With that comes, I think I might have shown this before. When I picked up the whole project from JP, this was included, and I love it. It's beautiful.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I saw this on a very old Moss catalog.
Wow.
So it was a Moss Europe catalog. They call it wrinkled black, I think. But
yeah, it's kind of a model.
Yeah.
Finish.
Comes with that, and of course all of the mounting things. So there's that.
Hang on. Okay, and that'll go underneath, of course.
Yep.
Okay, and show me what else you have.
Okay.
It's a cool valve cover. It says so right on the box.
Well, then it must be.
It must be.
Clutch,
Oh, man.
clutch slave cylinder.
Oh, man. Well,
Plus-
I have to figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
This is like buying a transmission from IKEA.
Neither one of us are going to, so I guess that leaves you.
Okay, there's the flywheel.
I will, yeah.
That's been shaved down a little bit, I believe, from what Will was saying. And it, of course, it weighs a pretty good clip there. And then all of the, throwout bearing is there. The alignment tool is here, and on, as well as the actual engine plate. Yeah. So all of this comes in the kit when you buy the Rivergate conversion. And again, there's the transmission. And did I put this on top of something? What's under this? There's one more box under it.
Yeah.
And I forget what this was. Yeah, there's the clutch.
Well, there's pressure plate.
The clutch disc, I think, is in your hands, or it's...
Probably in this one.
Yeah. So with this came the instructions. I sent those to you in email. I'll resend them if need be. Just right quick, this is your setup to test, or behind you is the setup to test overdrives. That's what I thought. So Dick is one of the few people in the world left that rebuilds and tests his own overdrives, and he's a master at it. So, and then of course extras that I can't use. There's an oil pump there, oil canister. I think timing chain guides.
Timing chain sprocket.
Yep, that's the oil pickup.
This is MGA stuff.
Yep. And again, Dick, if you don't want it or you can't use it, I'll be happy to throw it away, or list it for free on the website.
Okay. take a look at it,
Okay.
and then, you know what? Before you leave, I'll take a look at it and you decide.
Sure. Yeah. I don't want anything for it, so they're yours if you want them.
Why don't we take this? Let's see.
Ah.
Oh.
So there's my engine.
Now, it's not quite all here yet. So there seems to be a little something missing.
Something not there.
But that's how it's going to look.
That looks awfully pretty. Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Did you say oh?
Oh.
I think you said oh.
Do you know what this is? Okay, so my eye goes to this first thing.
Well, of course it does.
Yeah. So, is there an engine that can show there? Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, so what I'm looking at are the freeze plugs, and what came with the engine are these Welsh plugs.
Yeah.
To seal them in, you smack them dead center, they expand, and they hold in.
Okay.
These ones, there's a link that goes back and forth this way, tighten down. Did you get these from Eric? Eric? Did Eric send you these? That's what I thought. Yeah, so there's a guy on the forum, Eric, who makes these things or had them made custom. You put them in, you tighten them down, and they don't pop out. That is a beautiful piece. Beautiful piece.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
This is the fourth one, and it's kind of like a molly bolt.
Yep. Very
And
much.
so you unscrew this almost all the way. Hopefully this doesn't unscrew all the way and fall
Into the jacket, yeah.
And then what you do is you reach in and you hook it in and you catch it and you pull it back and then you tighten that with an Allen screw.
Dick, that's
And
beautiful.
what it does is it uses an O-ring for sealing.
Yep. So this is a huge upgrade over the acorn nuts, and it's a huge upgrade over the polypropylene bushing things that the other ones use. And there's one on the
back, which isn't in yet.
It's going to be over here. That's right. So for anybody who's ever done what's called a Betson bolt, that's where it goes. This is the rear plug. When this is covered up with the engine plate, it is a bear to get to. And if that pops where it comes frozen or whatever, you've got to take the engine out, replace it, and then put the engine in for a 10-cent piece. And that piece going in there saves a huge amount of worry and everything else. I'm tickled to see that. Very tickled.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better too. I mean,
Well, it's mechanically clinched.
Yeah.
Whereas the others,
Yeah.
under certain circumstances, the other ones can pop out.
Yeah.
So where's the head?
That's got a physical restraint, whereas
Oh, I forgot the cylinder head. Oh my God. I knew I forgot something. Cylinder head's still at the machine shop.
Gotcha.
But you're going to like this. You're going to like it all. But you're going to like this because this coming week we're going up on the flow bench with your cylinder head.
So what I've asked Dick to do, because of the hotter cam in this and those carburetors there, he's doing flow work and some other stuff to the head, so it'll flow better, more efficiently, and to use those bigger carbs.
Okay.
So that's an
more
addition.
air
Yeah.
going in and-
More fuel in there going in, more exhaust coming out.
Okay.
We're just going to help it breathe better.
Yep.
Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And so what we do is we take the cylinder head and we'll use a stock cylinder head, your cylinder head as a matter of fact, and we'll put it up on the flow bench and we'll actually measure how many CFMs go through under certain circumstances. And then what we'll do is we'll port it and polish it, smooth the runners, enlarge them to take advantage of the larger carburetors and the higher compression. And I'm not going to admit to the higher compression while the camera's running. I'm just saying. But anyway,
At least 8.1 to 1. At least.
8.8 to 1. But then, that's what this engine could have been when it was new.
Yeah.
So it will be at least 8.8 to 1.
So I also dropped off the hotter exhaust headers,
Yes.
and I think they're over there.
Yes. That's
Can I open that? May I open that up?
Well, sure. Yeah, I'll bet.
Okay. There's the Mallory distributor.
A Mallory distributor.
Yeah. Very
I
nice.
feel like Vanna White.
Yeah.
You're not near as pretty.
I said I feel like her. I didn't say I look like
Oh,
her.
that's okay.
You can smack him if you need to, bro.
Everybody does.
Okay, so this is Chris's intake manifold
Oh,
here.
look at that. Do you need the spacers, by the way?
I have them.
Okay.
And so what we've done is here, we've slightly, this is the side that the carburetors mount to. This is larger than the stock 1.5" SUs. Also, this manifold is specific to 1 3/4 carburetors because the mounting flanges for the carburetors are square and have 4 studs. The mounting for the 1.5" carburetors are not square, they're diagonal, and there's only 2 diagonal studs that mount the carburetors. So this manifold was made for 1 3/4 carburetors. And then what we've already done is we've already slightly enlarged these ports here and smoothed them so that will match the porting that's going to be done on the cylinder head.
Gotcha.
We have a special gasket for the manifolds. Both the intake and the exhaust manifolds bolt to the side of the cylinder head with a common gasket.
Okay.
And the gasket that we use has slightly larger ports here for the intake and exhaust, so we port match the intake and exhaust to the gasket, which was also port matched to the cylinder head. So there's no restrictions or obstructions.
3/4 all the way through.
It's a nice looking job.
It's actually not quite 1 3/4 all the way through, as you'll see.
Notice that.
This is going to be 1 3/4 where the carburetors mount,
Oh, but
because the throttle discs, these are slightly smaller.
Okay.
And the reason is because a lot of times folks with MGBs will take their manifolds and their cylinder heads to a machine shop and they'll say, oh, I want to do some porting. Or they say, oh yeah, we do big block Chevys and Fords all the time, we know how to do that. And then they make everything too big, which violates Bernoulli's principle.
Yep. And you get less flow.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
So there is a science to it.
Yeah.
There's absolutely a science. And then this is your header.
So I've owned that for about 9 months now. After I first started talking to Dick and getting everything ready to go, and look at that piece.
So now this has now been port matched. But this was very close. This header, the way it comes, is very close in size to the proper size to match up with the intake. So this is very nicely made. It's a 2-into-1 design like this. It has these nice band clamps on them instead of conventional muffler clamps. Because when you use conventional muffler clamps, what it does is it pinches both the outer and the inner pipes so you could never get them apart.
Yeah.
And in fact, on the race cars, and on my race car, we don't use any kind of clamp at all. My race car header is 4-into-2-into-1, and where the junctions are, we simply use a slip fit, and then we just use a spring that's attached to the outside and that hooks here to a little tab that's welded on and a little tab that's welded on, and we just hook a spring. Because at 100 miles an hour, the air rushing past carries the gases, and the car is an open car, so we're not worried about carbon monoxide, and that way it's much easier to disassemble if we have to for service at the racetrack.
Yep.
Exactly right.
There's nothing else in there except gaskets and a few other sundries, right?
There's one additional pipe,
Okay.
and that's it.